Steve was our new paladin, holy paladin of the Order of the Gauntlet. Order of the Gauntlet is a group of paladins that are stationed out of a place called Dustport, east of Chult. Chult is a synonym for Upper Fandriel, which is a floating island in the southwest part of Orin. Right below Upper Fandriel or Chult is a place called Lower Fandriel, or I forgot the name of it, but orcs and stuff live down there, and other creatures and so on. It's not a very safe place. And it is rumored that one of the myths behind Upper Fandriel is that it is the heart of a titan. At least that's what Azaka said. You guys found our unlucky paladin named Odo. Odo the Vigilant. Hero of the Order of the Gauntlet. Cowering away, not really cowering, but hiding. The last survivor of his order. And here we come. Alric's coming back here, so hopefully you can listen in and stuff too, which is nice. The last paladin survivor of the Order of the Gauntlet. And yeah, he's a big, strong, young, strapping guy. A little, his order couldn't break into this monkey temple with the crocodile in it. But you guys were able to solve all the puzzles behind it. The pit traps, the blazing and burning saws, the magical fire with the crazy ruins that just needed to be stepped on in the right way. Willow almost perished, by blowing up, dive bombing down into one of the ruins, unfortunately. But
it's life without a little risk.
Everybody kind of you guys worked together as a team, just like the myth of the crocodile and the man were able to execute, pushing in the two buttons at the end on the door and going in. And then you found what did we find, Chef? Do you remember?
We got an alchemy jug that made Chef's store very happy and
very drunk.
The alchemy jug can produce all kinds of liquids, oils, wines, and so on. I think it can produce a certain amount once per day, right?
I think it's you can make mayonnaise, you can make
yes,
oil, you can make wine, you can make beer.
The most expensive wine, in fact, that you test it out right up to chef's quality. A hungry, small little goblin buddy who loves cooking and has mushrooms growing off the side of his shoulders that are delicious. You guys exited this dungeon with the crocodile, where you guys, after recovering the alchemy jug, you guys were ambushed by a bunch of goblins who were waiting outside. And as the goblins were losing the fight, you guys were killing them off. One by one, they sounded their horn and alerted nearby zombies. Zombies came out, and you guys were very clever about it. Led them back into the dungeon where all the traps exploded. And we're kind of outside of this thing, outside of the temple, right, or the dungeon. And what do you guys? Did I miss anything? Anybody want to add anything? Anybody have any questions before we start?
Yeah, where's our guide? Did we find our guide at all?
You hear the guide. Let me pull her out. It was my bad as the DM, really. The guide was missing. That's kind of why Willow went out looking for fish. And but the guide is there, and we'll do the guide in a second. I'm just asking if anybody else has any questions. Azaka Stormfang. The guide sends Portner and Zaru, who is helping guide you through the dangerous jungles of Chult. Steven, can you change your Zoom name to Odo, please, by the way?
Okay.
Odo, do you have any questions, bud?
Nope.
Cool. We're just ready to go. And Alric, are you there? Alric B.
Hello?
Are you there, buddy?
Hello.
Alric is kind of a newer player. He hit us up, like I said, through Start Playing. Alric, do you have any questions, or are you just kind of still figuring stuff out and kind of preparing a character?
I just got everything set up, and I'm transferring the character over to the D&D right now.
Cool. Why don't you tell us a little bit about, why don't we just go around the table for about 5 minutes? Everybody can kind of introduce themselves to Alric, and Alric will go last, and he can just say like who he is as a player, and then maybe the character he wants to play as. Why don't we start off with Chef?
Hello, my friend. Nice to meet you. I'm a small little goblin around 4'9". I wear this nice short little chef jacket because we're in shoulders. It's very hot. I have a nice neckerchief to catch much sweat because when someone scopes you have to go. I have a nice red headband to cover my hair because no hair in my food. I have these lovely little mushrooms around my neck. It was from a hero who attacked my camp a long time ago when I learned how to cultivate and work mushrooms, and it's pretty much my story. I'm a small little goblin.
Cool. Willow.
Okay.
Willow is a fairy, probably roughly the size of Tinkerbell. Her mother is a librarian. Her father is a adventurer slash curator of a museum, very like Indiana Jones meets Rick from The Mummy kind of dad. So she's almost at mature age, and she's trying to prove herself to her dad that she can do what he does, basically. And she's a druid.
Oh. Okay.
A moon druid. And Chef is a druid of the spores. We have 2 druids. Could be worse. This could be a whole party of bards. Odo, but not Odo Hightower. Tell us about
the dragon reference.
Yeah, so someone stole your name. Is that what you were talking about, or is that hilarious? Hilarious. I have not seen the new House of the Dragon. Is it good?
I liked it.
I've heard it's good.
Jury's still out, but
I'm kind of like, I'm very trepid because they finished the last season so terribly.
right.
I kind of want to see the whole season first, and then see what the critics say about the whole season. But apparently the ratings and the social media buzz around it is still really high. Okay, Odo Hightower. No, I'm just kidding. Odo, what's up? Tell us about yourself as a player and maybe
human paladin, Order of the Gauntlet. Not much to say there. Former military.
Used to play a lot of D&D back in the day, and you're trying to get back into it a little bit.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah. 6'1", 220 pounds, 18 years old, brown hair, brown eyes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
And Alric. Why doesn't Alric tell us a little bit of himself as a player? And what is he going to play as? I guess you kind of got your character ready to go, you said.
I don't have my character ready to go yet. I still have to actually
Get him
make
in.
it on.
Okay. Yeah, but what do you want to play as?
Well, I was thinking about playing a little kobold bard. His
Cool.
name is Scratch. He's a bard of the College of Valor. His entire niche is that he wanted to stand out amongst his background, where he grew up in the streets of some city. So he picked up a lute, he started playing some music, and he started earning himself some money the right proper way. And then he decided to become an adventurer, because staying in one place for too long is a little too boring for him.
He traveled all the way to Vandriel, or Chult, this jungle teeming with life. But there's been a mysterious talk throughout the land, and the king, Maroon Lionfall, the king of Dustport, has sent most of the Order of the Gauntlet, because the king doesn't want to die. And he's heard that the resurrection magic is failing. And even it's rumored that the boon from the elves that grants them immortality is even in danger. It's the life throughout almost all the land. In such a place where Chult is wandering with many zombies and so on. And out of the brush, you see Azaka coming. She runs out and she runs up to Chef as we begin our game. Right? I'm going to summon people to the battle board if you want to. Otherwise, we can just kind of do this theater of the mind. Oh, Chef, I'm so glad you are still alive. I heard the zombies coming after you, and I saw that you ran back in the temple. And she comes up and gives you a big hug, Chef. Azaka Stormfang.
Oh, I'm fine. I'm a lot harder to kill than I look.
Are you all okay? I sensed something was wrong. I saw the bushes move and I got scared and I ran. I didn't see you come out. Are you okay? She looks over at Willow.
I'm fine. We got rid of them. I think I saw the other side. Not 100% sure, but I'm fine now.
Did you see Umbatu?
I don't know. Maybe. It's very hazy. Like, it's like when you wake from a dream, you like vaguely remember what you dreamt of, but not enough to really remember.
I'm glad you are safe. And what about you, Sir Odo?
We outsmarted the zombies. Which might have not been that hard to do, but we did it anyway.
It is getting late. This place is probably not safe. Where should we go? You guys were heading west to Oran Lago to try to talk with the spirit creature. But west of here, Odo, you know that the paladins departed and maybe set up another camp on the other river. Or we can head east or wherever you guys want to go. I linked you guys the map, right?
Right.
Wasn't
there another camp to the west?
We'll go back to town and stock back up.
Did we already check the tents?
We already checked the tents. Lyra found the whole religious symbol, and you have the alchemy jug.
Right. Okay. Either you sit down or I'm going to throw you on the floor. Make a choice. Thank you. Sorry.
Azaka looks over at you guys. The sun is setting. Where should we set up camp?
I mean, we've already got the tent set up. We could just use these here.
Should we sleep in the temple? Is it safe?
I think we should sleep in the temple on the other side of the traps again.
That would be smart.
You figured out the riddle, Paladin?
As a team, we did.
Excellent.
Through trial and error. A lot of singed wings.
They're okay now.
Many temples my people built long ago. I'm glad at least this one still stands, she says. Do you guys go inside the temple and do a long rest? Want to sleep in the temple?
Yeah.
Why don't we do that?
Okay. So every time we do a long rest, normally we would roll on the encounters roll, right? But we're in a pretty safe spot, right?
Yes.
You guys are behind this fire trap that's warded. You guys have solved the riddle of the traps. Strangely enough, this death trap, essentially inside is now served to be very protective. As zombies and other creatures of the wild, especially as we go deeper into the jungle or certain parts of the jungle, can get very dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys, in fact, get a full rest in, right? So I'm going to add 8 hours to our timer. We'll start the next day, I think it's, let's say 7 a.m., right? Do you guys want to start at 6 a.m.? What do you think, Odo? You want to do 6, Willow?
I think 6, that way we have more time to kind of, not only do we have the long rest, but now we've got a little bit more time to travel during the day.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. And then let's, one of our rules is that if you rest in a safe spot, like here I'm saying, because the whole dungeon is cleared out, and you guys have solved the whole dungeon, so everybody can sleep. Nobody really doesn't have to stay on watch, really, right? Does anybody want to stay on watch?
How long's a long rest? Is it 6 hours?
It's 8 hours, but we do usually with a group of 4 players, 1 player or even 3 players, you have to do 2-hour shifts, right?
Right. Watch.
Yep.
I think we should keep a watch. We'll alternate every 2 hours.
Okay.
Chef,
Here's the trade-off. What I'm trying to say: if you guys don't want to take a watch, you can add a hit dice of temporary hit points to your hit point max.
I mean, we are already protected by not only the flames, but the puzzle, but then it's also the trap that's in the area towards that door at the back. I think we're pretty safe. Don't need a watch.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't like the idea of ever not having a watch.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure if someone tried to get in the temple and set off the tile puzzle, I'm sure that will definitely alert us that something's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Willow makes some good points. I'm just going to help you out as a DM. And Willow's right. Odo, you think about it a little bit more, even though it's true, like, you're pretty much, like, isolated in this temple, right? It's really safe. And everybody can take a hit die if you're choosing. So, like, Odo, you're a paladin, you use a D12, I believe, right? Or a D... No, use a
I think I'm
D10.
D10.
You're right. You're a D10. So you'd add D10, temp HP. Willow would add D8, and Chef would also add D8 as well. As you go through a long rest, you also fully recover all HP, all spell slots, and all your hit dice are refreshed, right? Do you guys understand?
Mm-hmm.
Because we're resting in a very, very safe spot. Cool.
Ah,
What is Chef Spore's odds of becoming Azaka's best friend?
What do you mean, like lover or something like that?
No, just her best
You're trying to
friend.
flirt? Azaka is very fond of Chef.
Ooh.
She wears the tiger mask. She takes it off at night, and she says, "Yes, Chef? Do you have any more of those mushrooms?"
Oh, I can make you some more. They're pretty easy for me to make.
She holds out her hand.
And he'll just snap his fingers and then make some more of the yummy mushrooms.
She's like, "No, the ones there that are growing on your shoulder."
Oh, sure.
And then he'll just pluck it and then give it to her.
Do you mind? They're so delicious.
I don't.
Do you hand her some of your mushrooms that are growing from your shoulder?
I do.
Exquisite, Chef. Maybe you add some sauces from the jug you found. With some other fish, make a great stew.
I'll try that.
Did you have a question for me, little one?
Well, I understand how it is when you're scared, but you can't let fear control you. You know, sometimes I looked up to you, you know? You saved our asses so many times, and, you know, the Firefinger and this isn't you. Is something wrong with you, or is it just something personal?
I saw to stay alive in the jungle it is dangerous. You must always be careful. You were inside. I saw the trees moving. And there could be anything. Dinosaurs or a swarm of undead. I mean, the camp was totally empty. I have to be careful. That is why I stayed alive for so long.
Well, just to tell you, we are a party. We are relying on each other. If you want this curse to be ending and all that stuff, sometimes you have to find a little bit of bravery inside of you. Like, I'm a goblin. I'm known to being scared of everything. I know the risk of Schalt and everything. But I owe my friends for giving me a second chance in life.
Unfortunately, I am not as rich as you, Chef. I need money. That is why I work for the Scouting Guild.
Mm-hmm.
I will take you to Arnlago, but that is as far as I can go, and then you will have to pay me. I will never forget what you've done for me. She points to the mask. Or she like kind of, braces the mask that's on her hip.
Well, that means we need to go to town, and I can sell some stuff and make sure we can stay together till the end, because I think you would even enjoy watching this death curse go away. And maybe that will find you a new way of bravery.
I do not believe in such superstition. It is only the rich that think like this, or the elves that are worried about their own life. She looks over to like Odo, who's probably sleeping. The kings are now even worried. It is only now they ask us to go and die for them, to find a solution to their problem.
That's very annoying. Like, I have to look so much harder to be accepted by humans and everyone, because goblins are known for being evil, and in the kitchen, no one gets judged for the race. They just deal with pots and pans, knives and everything. And I met a lot of friends, I met a lot of races, but I learned not to always be scared of people and accept the journey of learning, and that eventually you will become a better person. It just takes time.
She nods and says, and she puts the hand on your shoulder a little bit, and she says, I promise, I will not run again.
You will give her a nice little, fist pump, and then be like,
I'll keep in honor of that, and I'll try to protect you with my more dangerous mushrooms if I could try.
Us skinwalkers, she looks at you and she looks at Willow, have to stick together.
mm-hmm.
Does anybody else want to do anything at the night? Let's go to Willow real quick. Willow, what are you thinking about as you're kind of going to sleep? Like, what's Willow's hopes and dreams, or what is Willow thinking about?
I think Willow's kind of assessing the damage to her wings from her near-death experience and making sure they're not too damaged. And then I think she's going to take a moment to write down what has transpired with the last session into her notebook that just constantly seems to appear and disappear out of nowhere, while trying to politely not listen in on their conversation, because her mother raised her with manners.
And what is Odo thinking about as he falls to sleep? at night.
Thinking, figure out why this is all going on and get revenge on all his comrades that were killed by the undead.
You had to bury a few of them.
The undead.
Yeah, you had to bury a few of them. And you remember the commander, Commander Niles Breakbone. Before he... Basically, there was so much chaos. They left. You think they went west, but you stuck behind to make sure some of the paladins could fight for themselves. Unfortunately, over the next few days, some of them were succumbed to illness and starvation. You're the last one. And you were probably about ready to head west yourself to meet back up with the commander. Right. It's a shame that he left everybody here to die. What do you think about that?
Let's get up and get moving.
Okay. It is 6 o'clock in the next morning. Alric, is your character ready to go, or are you still doing it? Have you got him linked into D&D Beyond yet?
I was actually wanting to ask you about that because of the races available, Kobold isn't one of them.
It should be. It's in Monsters of the Multiverse, so I might not have it we might not have that book purchased. But we do have Goblin, right? So it should be linked in there. You might have to recreate the character and then look under the race and then select it.
Alright.
But it's okay. You can create you can create another character and just say he's a kobold. It's not that big of a deal.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Alright, I'll go ahead and get to work on that then.
Cool. The day is yours, guys. It is 6:18 and the next day. Where are we traveling? Are we traveling? The question is where are we going, guys? What do we want to do?
I say we keep
Go
going.
west, young man.
Well, here's the problem. We have to, once we reach that place that Azaka told us about, we need to start paying her. We are pretty close to the town. We can sell the jewelry and whatnot and make sure that she stays with us for a little bit longer.
Maybe the camp has gold. The paladins of the Order of the Gauntlet might have some supplies, and you might be able to trade with them, little one.
That sounds like a good idea.
Unfortunately, I cannot take any debts, but even my master would not be satisfied. This is so, how shall we say, dangerous work and a cash-only business.
So do we divide and conquer the tents so we can bring this stuff, I guess, back to a town and try to sell it for gold?
Probably ripped up tents wouldn't be worth the effort to carry them.
You look around, Willow, Odo's right, like some of the tents have like these claw marks from some of the ghouls and things like that. And they're kind of disheveled. But Willow, you do spot one tent that could be taken and sold if you want to. Do you want to dismantle that tent and add it to your inventory?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, it's called a 2-person tent. You can remove it from the sheet. And I'll remove one of the tents outside here. There you go. And of course, Lyra has a valuable chef. Lyra has a silver emblem of Adon that she found, right? That one of the paladins might have worshipped. And she says to Chef, now I don't want to really control Lyra, but she says, Chef, if it worst comes to worst, we can give Azaka this. This must be worth at least 50 gold. This could buy her for 2 weeks. Her services for 2 weeks.
I know, it's just for me, as a goblin, I have to work a lot harder to make sure you all know that I'm a good person.
She did leave us, Chef. Lyra says. Can we really trust her?
She promised to me, and if she betrays us one more time, I'll take care of her personally.
The true goblin way, she says. What do you guys want to do? Are we heading west? It sounds like Odo wants to head west. What does Willow want to do?
Willow's just gonna go with the party because she originally was just exploring to explore and prove herself, and she is deemed that whatever quest this group that she has somehow managed to join is more interesting than just randomly traveling. Can I help you?
Odo, you know that if you head west and meet the commander can be kind of a stern guy. You know, it's a military guy, right? Like,
Right.
it could have to have some tact to the approach of it. And you don't know how he'll perceive you. He perceive you as a deserter of some kind. You know, even though you fought bravely to keep some of your men alive. It could not just, what I'm trying to say is it might not be like the easiest, it might not be safe, you know, in the true sense of the word. But we don't even know if these paladins are alive at their new camp. I mean, they just headed west, but we don't even know if they're there. But Oren Lunga, which is the place where you guys want to go to, is further west about 10 days. What do you want to do?
Do you want to bypass the paladin camp?
Willow's gonna look to Chef like, what are we doing? I'm just gonna follow what your decision is.
So, what's the smartest decision? Because I'd rather be smart than dumb. Because we are gonna keep on traveling in the jungles. I'm the person who's always like, as a chef, we always are known to, stock on supplies, make sure things are good. How's everybody's rations looking?
Isn't there a river nearby?
Yeah, as you guys leave the camp, there's a river right outside.
Chef. Oh, as my voice decides to give out on me there. Willow turns to Chef and goes, "Why don't you try seeing if you can, if you can catch any fish so we can sell those for gold?"
Sure, that sounds like a good idea. But we also have to respect nature, so
That's
let's not
true.
overfish here.
No.
If
Don't wanna
it's
overfish,
endangered,
for
I
sure.
have to put it back. You know how it is. Druids have a very certain code of codex of if it's endangered, you leave it alone.
It's true, but if we can get one that's, I don't want to say rare, but like not as common enough, maybe like one or two, we can get at least some gold out of it.
Hey,
That
we're
sounds
at
good.
Camp Righteous, right?
That is correct.
Okay. It's to the west is Camp Vengeance, and then Mabala. Looks like we could take the river. Oh, I'm not sure which way the river flows.
The river flows out from the center to the edge of the edge of the island.
So probably in the opposite direction we want to go.
Yeah, exactly.
It flows in the direction if we wanted to take a canoe. There are a few boats here that you guys could take and head back to Port Naranzaro if you want to. It's totally up to you guys, whatever you want to do.
I mean, we could do that, see what we can get for what we can trade for gold pieces.
Is Chef trying to fish at all?
Yeah, host fish.
Roll a survival or nature roll, buddy.
Of course. You know me. I love my.
As you try to catch some
Survival.
food. Yeah.
24.
Roll a d6.
5.
You find 5 days worth of rations. Or fish. You have enough fish for 5 days worth of rations. You can add it to your character sheet. You take a few fish back, that are more endangered species, and you throw them back. So you prevent, from overfishing like you want. But some of like the more, the trout and stuff like that, that's just more common, you keep. Cool.
Yeah. I will just make sure to pass the rations. I'm taking 2 out of the 5 and then sharing the 3 with other people, so we don't starve to death.
So everybody gets to add. That would be Willow, Odo, and Azaka adds 1 day's worth of rations. Azaka says, "Thank you."
It's my job here. Make sure no one does.
Cool.
Your job is to guide us. My job is to cook for us.
Or in Lunga, there is no river west of here. We have to be careful. There will be no fish, but we can gather and kill things of the wood. This is what Kay would wish.
Who's Cade?
Kay is one of the old titans. They say we are standing on his beating heart.
You sound like a very nice guy.
I don't know, we just stole his jug.
It's Jug that makes amazing wine.
It got you easily drunk.
Okay, no one else wanted seconds, and it's very rude to the gods, especially if he is a god, to not drink the wine.
Sir Odo, should we travel west and meet your companions of the Order? Or shall we continue to Lunga? What do you wish, Sir Odo?
Well, I could use the ruse, or not the ruse, tell the commander what happened and that we were decimated. We being, my unit. So I say we probably should travel west to the next camp.
Is this what you wish, little one? She looks over at Chef.
Yeah, as long as people are okay and as long as they're not hostile towards me, I'm fine.
Let us travel west. Alex, is your character ready?
Just about.
Okay, cool. So how we roll our character, or how we roll for stuff for encounters, is I roll a d20. Let me see here. For some reason this video's not playing. Cool. All right. So we make 3 checks on the day. And I have to roll an 18 or higher. Let me take a look at our map. As we travel through different areas of Chult, there can be more and more dangers within this place. Chef made a pretty good survival roll earlier. Chef, the difference in, normally if we had our centaur friend here, he would be able to tell us more information because he's a specialist with tracking undead. But Chef rolls really high with the survival roll. We must be near like this camp. You feel like the undead presence here like comes up to this camp. But as we travel west, over the river, really, there's less undead. But on this area, there's just a lot of undead. It could be more dangerous. But as we travel west, maybe not so much, and that's maybe why the paladins fled that direction. I'll make the first roll. This is for, we have the morning, evening, and then nighttime. So I did roll a 19 at night. So we have to, everybody has to roll a, everybody rolls, we're going to make it easy. Everybody rolls a d20. Whoever rolls a d20 and rolls the lowest, they're the one on watch where the random encounter happens.
I rolled the 14.
And then they add 1 day to the timer.
19.
11.
11. Your roll came in pretty quick this time, Odo. The new computer's helping.
Yep.
It didn't take
Well, I'm
20
actually on
minutes.
the old computer.
Well, that you must have
but,
deleted it or something, or it rolled really quick this time.
Well, I don't have Hellspire running.
Oh, that's fine. Maybe that was it. Okay. So, Odo the Paladin rolls it. Odo, it's nighttime. And you hear, they can't be that quiet because there's a group of people approaching the camp.
I hear approach.
Yeah, you hear like, let me switch over our ambience too as it's nighttime. Give me 1 second. What do you do? There's a group of people rustling through. It's pretty strange. What do you do, Odo? Are you trying? There's only 3 of you guys right now. So, are you trying to, Odo? Are you trying to stealth? Or do you want to encounter these people, or what are you trying to do?
Well, first thing, I'll wake everybody up quietly.
Okay.
Give them a shake to wake everybody up to get us all in.
Odo wakes you guys up. You guys hear it. It's a sound of like maybe, I want to say, half a dozen people. Or half a dozen people as you look out. Everybody makes perception rolls with disadvantage. And I'll try to make a stealth roll. I roll pretty low, so everybody makes a perception roll with disadvantage, though.
I don't know how to do the disadvantage.
You just right-click it, or just roll it twice. If you're using the app on your mobile phone there.
Okay. So, perception, I click it twice.
Yep, just click it twice, and we take the lower of both rolls. Chef rolls an 11. It's okay, I rolled really low with the group. I rolled a 4. So, you guys you rolled a natural 1. Willow, in our new rules, guess what? Natural 1s auto-fail, right? Using the D&D 1 rules. Failure! I don't really like that rule, to be honest with you. I like the idea of 1s not auto-failing all the time. You guys all spot them. It's pretty strange. It's there's a person dressed in red robes. There is 1 human guard and 2 skeletons that appears to be following the group. What do you guys do? They have not noticed you.
Do we want to ambush them?
Well, is that the best idea? You're the most trained out of all of us. Azaka, what's the best idea do you want? Should we mess with the people in the red robes, or do you know anything about the people in red robes, or no?
I do not know. I have not seen this. This must be new. Maybe they're here
But they're
because of you, like you. They're looking for a reason for the death curse. But this looks like foul magic. She points to the 2 skeletons.
Right, I agree. The skeletons don't usually hang with normal people.
Can Willow do a history check to see if maybe at some point while being in the library with her mom or doing research with her dad, she might have read something at some point?
Yeah, go ahead. Unfortunately, no.
The dice today do not like me.
What do you guys do? Do we let them pass? Or shall we encounter them somehow?
Well, would Chef have heard anything through the kitchens about these type of people or no?
Maybe.
What type of role is that?
We'll say a history roll, but I'll make the DC 20 now, since we had Willow already roll on it. Fortunately, Chef has not heard anything about this.
I'll do a history roll.
Yep, we'll say the DC's 20.
Oh, that's a 9.
Not high enough. None of you
So
guys
the
were...
dice don't like any of us today.
I thought it was a 6 at first, so.
Hey.
Do we let them continue, or what do we do?
I think we just let them continue because we don't know anything about them. We don't know. It seems they have control over the undead, so.
Okay, so this is what we'll do. Everybody needs to roll a stealth roll using their stealth, otherwise, and I'm going to roll a perception roll to see if they spot you.
We're at 21.
Nice. What about you, Odo? Chef rolls an 11.
Oh, my massive 3.
Hey, we're failing.
I rolled
Yep,
a
I did.
natural fucking 1.
Oh, okay.
So I fail. I rolled a natural 1. Willow, of course, is silently buzzing like a hummingbird almost in the middle of night as we let these strange visitors pass forward. It's 3 days to the camp, Odo, as we're looking across the map, and with some tracking from Azaka, the jungles of Chult are dangerous, but through some basic tracking, you guys have found that the undead have not wandered this far in this direction, or the race of undead are not as much. Let me make 3 other rolls here. Roll number 1. This is for the second day. 2, 3. I roll a natural 20 for next night. So in other words, we have another encounter. I'll add another day to our timer. And we're 1 day away from the camp. We're about at least 2 rolls away. Okay, this one doesn't work for this encounter, so we'll just keep rolling. 1. This is day 2. And we are approaching the camp. So
Hey,
we're
I
on...
can take a long rest because I still have a stack of exhaustion.
You already have your every day, so we're 3 days in, Chef. All your stacks of exhaustion are gone.
Okay.
It is now the first day of Asius, right? Of the next month here. Is Alric's character ready?
Yeah, I'm just adding the stuff right now. That's it.
Cool. As we're about, I want to say, a few hours away from the camp, let's bring Alric, our new player, in. You guys see this guy? I'm assuming. Let's have Alric roll a. How do you guys? I was just saying that you guys are meeting up in the jungle somewhere. Alric, what do you look like?
Do you want me to verbally describe it, or is there some way I can like show you a picture of him?
You can show me a picture, and I'll link it to the group.
All right, cool. Because I have a very detailed picture of him.
Awesome.
grab it. Hey.
You want to DM me the picture in Discord?
Yes, sir. I just got it. And here you go. There he is.
Cool. Still loading up for me. Why don't you describe what he looks like, though? And then I'll link the picture once it loads in.
So, Scratch this crimson red kobold that stands just a little over 3.5 feet tall. He has a backpack that's a little bit too big for him, with a lot of stuff in it that's probably about to explode out of it if he puts one more thing. He's currently wearing some some boots, but it's a little weird for him because he has clawed feet, so it kind of sticks out from the end of the. He's wearing a nice white T-shirt, which is almost looks like it was tailored for him specifically, and upon his horns are some gold rings and bands that interconnect between the horns. Looking all over the place with this excited little gleeful face, ready to explore the world. But at the same time, he kind of looks like...
You're cutting in a little bit in and out.
Yeah.
Because your mic is cutting in a little bit now. So it's a little hard to hear you all the way.
Oh. Well, do you have the picture?
Let me take a look to see if it loaded it. It is not loaded in.
That is weird.
But that's cool. You kind of described yourself a little bit. You're a kobold with a giant backpack that's bursting at the seams. What do you guys do?
I don't see...
You guys are seeing each other. We're just meeting up in the forest somewhere in the jungle. Azaka points over to you and says, "Look. Willow, look."
I see. I'm sure with one touch that bag is just gonna go every which way and cause attraction from anything and everything. How in the world did that even happen? It just defies physics.
One more strap and it'll break out the seams. He must be looting He must be looting everything that he finds. Is it a he or a she? It looks like a woman to me.
He's just very eloquently gross.
Do you think it would snap? Or it would explode with one sneeze?
All right.
Hey, you want to carry my torch?
I don't think he's got room for that.
Yeah.
He'll find it. So, quick question. What do I do with the character sheet? Do I share it with you?
Yep. Or just link it in, because I sent you the link to it in your direct messages.
Alright, let me see. Here's the link. I'll just put the link.
Cool.
Yep, that's fine.
Awesome. Got it. What is your name, traveler? Azaka says to you.
Oh, hello. My name is Scratch. It's nice to meet you.
Scratch. It is not a goblin, chef. It is one of those half-dragons. Chef must have stepped AFK or something, because we can't see as much.
I'm thinking, I don't think it's a dragonborn?
No. That's not me. I'm a kobold.
What shall we call the name of our group? Azaka says. Wrath of the Small Creatures. She looks over at Willow, Chef, and this guy. Oh, Odo. And Odo, she says.
Yeah.
Well, come closer. It is not safe in the jungle.
Guys.
What's your character's name? What is your name? Scratch?
Yeah, that's me. My name's Scratch.
Oh. Why do they call you Scratch? She says.
Well, let's just say, once upon a time, when I was a little bit smaller, I may or may not got into a little bit of a heated argument with the local guard, and that's just the nickname they gave me. And it kind of stuck. So, I'm Scratch now.
Azaka looks over at Chef. She says, don't be fucking rude. Give him some drink. Give him some of that wine.
Ooh.
You want us to party now with a new person that we don't know what's good or bad and is friendly to goblins. Maybe I should do something special for a friend.
Ooh, are we friends? I like friends.
Chef Spore will think of a Kobold, think of something for Kobold, and think of a beer that Kobolds will really, really like.
What kind of beer do kobolds like? Scratch.
Well, think from Draconic Heritage. I'd say anything that would burn throat on the way.
So something that burns a thread on the way down, Chef. What type of drink? Does anybody know a drink that burns on the way down? It's got to be like a hard-ass whiskey almost, right?
Yeah.
Like some Jack Daniels?
Oh, God. We might have to do a concentration saving throw for just drinking that.
Give me some too, Chef. This is the way in Chult. When you meet a stranger in the jungle, you're supposed to drink and be happy to know that you are both friends, searching for the blessings of Kay.
And we should pour one out for the Titan god that we walk on.
Are you like pouring it out like this one's for all my homies?
Yeah, pouring one out for the homies.
We will need more luck than that, Chef, if we are to meet these paladins.
Yeah.
I told you I met a few in the bar before we left, and they were very rude.
So do you think it's
He points to how obviously he's a goblin.
do you think that they'll just attack first, ask questions later?
Are you asking Azaka?
Yeah.
What are you asking her if she should attack first and ask questions later?
No, like the guard would they attack first or ask questions later because of how he looks,
Of how the kobold looks?
of how Chef Spore looks, like a goblin.
Oh, yeah, Chef. They are all different kinds of creatures that have been summoned in Port Naranzaru. I don't want to... You are not dressed like the goblins on here, little Chef. You should not have to worry. The ones that we killed back at the camp, she kind of says, reluctantly, or you killed, you guys had some of the bodies around, right? They were wearing like masks and tribal gear, right? Where you're kind of like more refined to a certain degree, even though you're kind of part plant.
Part plant.
You're part plant, right?
Part plant.
Where do you hail from, Scratch? Azaka says.
Well, not gonna lie, I kind of don't remember. I just kind of come from all over the place.
Odo.
Never been in one place for more than a week.
Why are you here?
I have no godly idea.
You're just randomly walking around in the jungle? I'm shocked you're not dinosaur bait.
Ooh, that dinosaur's here. That's awesome.
The raptors would tear your little limbs limb by limb.
Well, at least I died doing something I love.
You, my little friend, we could always use a camp hand. You should come with us. Do you know how to play that thing? She points to like your musical instrument. What is it? Is it a little lyre?
Yeah,
it's a
bagpipe.
It's a bagpipe. Well, I see the picture you sent me.
Oh.
I saw the picture that you sent me at a guitar. So
Yeah, that's the instrument that he was given, but he has since lost that instrument and wants to find it again. But that's a story for another day. But yeah, he grabs the bagpipe off of the strap to the side of his backpack, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm really good at playing this."
not now, not now. We're getting close to the camp. But be careful. We want you later when we're safe somewhere. I will hear your tune.
I'll play for you.
What is your favorite song, Willow?
I don't have a favorite song. I like all music. It's an expression of oneself, so
Even the banging of the goblin's drums?
in a way it means something, and it not only to that culture and that race, but it's also just another way of expressing oneself. So yes.
I have some.
Beautiful.
I have some pretty cool kobold models I'm going to use for Scratch. Here we go. I have put you guys right outside of the camp, Odo.
Okay.
The camp from the distance, so I have the model for it. Again, we can just do Theater of the Mind if you want, but the model is here if you guys like it, and it's a pretty cool model. I'll tell you guys what you see. Give me a second. Through the foliage, you see crude timber fortifications, a walled compound with watchtowers and tents inside. It is encircled by a ditch, bristling with sharpened stakes, and a large gatehouse. It faces the river, on the shore of which 4 rowboats are tied to wooden posts. Scattered around the fort are piles of charred human corpses and flayed animal carcasses swarming with flies. What do you guys want to do?
Well, that's an ominous sign, seeing a bunch of swarming flies. I don't think your the rest of your troop or group or I almost wanted to start singing an ABBA song.
You can sing it quietly, but just not loud. We're not that close. But the bagpipes, that is a whole nother thing, as Zaka says.
Well, yes. Well, seeing
This looks kind of fun.
I don't think a lot of your group survived seeing that many flies. Sorry.
I'll be alright. Don't worry, I can go check. I just start walking off towards it.
Scratch starts walking off towards the camp, correct?
Yep. Very confident that finds you. Like he's doing those big steps.
Do we just let him walk off towards the camp?
Maybe I should go first in case, they see a kobold walking out of the jungle. They might, even if it is still our troops.
Scratch, you feel like a hand come down on your shoulder as you begin walking off. It's the paladin.
Yeah.
Oh! Me.
Chill, little one. I'll walk first. let's walk up. If we don't sneak up, we may expose ourselves to attack, but then we can't see anybody manning the towers or walls.
Make a perception check. Now, obviously, I'm going to give you, the higher you roll, just I'll give you more information. But if you are able to, I'll give you base information regardless of the roll. And I'll give it to the whole party as you guys can look through the camp and see what's going on. Just roll an 11.
Could I a help action for that?
Roll it up yourself if you want to, buddy.
Okay.
And since we might not have your character connected in, you can just tell me what you want to roll. And you can just roll that any way you want. Just tell me what you want to roll.
Yeah, I'll roll perception too.
Cool. All right, buddy.
I have expertise in perception.
Cool. Roll it up. What'd you get?
+5. Alright. Let me roll real quick. I'll use this. Here we go. Alright, roll. Ooh, I got a 19 + 5. That's a 24.
So, Alric, Odo, you're squinting a little bit, and Scratch looks out with his, like, dragonkin eyes, the slits on his eyes, like almost like cat's eyes, peer in a little bit as he overlooks the camp. There's like dozens of people, in this camp. We're approaching it around, I want to say about 3 o'clock in the evening on the first day of the 10th month. There are a few guards posted. There's 4 guards posted. There's giant, there's, like I said, a few boats that have been docked off near the edge of the river. And there's large, dinosaur carcasses that are littered, basically, with just swarms of flies that are devouring them. And you squint a little bit further, and you almost catch a glimpse of them. You recognize maybe there was some of importance, and Odo looks. Odo, you see your commander is in there.
Okay.
So the commander, Niles Breakbone, is in there. He's a younger-looking gentleman with long blonde hair. He must have just been briefly watching the, going across the ramparts, but he's in there.
Let's go identify ourselves.
We want to go into the camp, guys?
Yeah.
Willow?
I guess so.
Well, I have to look like a good goblin, and Chef Spore will be like all sly and then go hold Azaka's hand, try to be all sly about it.
Azaka, like, she's kind of holding her hand, and then she says, halt. She says, and she takes her hand from you. She's like, it is, these paladins, I cannot trust them like you. I will stay here for you. Azaka does not want to go inside.
I'm sure she has a good reason for that.
I do not know what these paladins will do. They obviously do not respect the land. She points to like the dead carcasses of the dinosaurs. Think about like the buffalo in the Great Plains, about how the settlers just killed these buffalo and just like let most of them out there to die, right?
Mm.
Like the huge tusks of all these buffalo out there. Very wasteful.
I think I'm gonna have Willow stay with Azaka and try to convince her to try to like, kind of like, I don't know, do something with the carcasses to kind of, I don't know. I can't think of the words at the moment. Having a total brain fart.
I am not blessed with the magics that you have, little fairy. I cannot change the world the way it is, for this is the will of the gods. But I cannot interfere, and I can spot evil when I see it, one who disgraces the land so well. I will stay here, but good luck and be safe. What do you guys do?
Sure.
If they're hurting the ground, maybe we just need to tell them to stop. Maybe they're doing something bad and they won't do it no more.
I don't think that's gonna work, love.
Why not?
They're not children, and it's not like when you tell a children to leave the cookie in the cookie jar. They're not gonna listen.
What if we say please?
I still don't think that's gonna work.
Oh. Oh,
But it's a good idea. I just don't think it's gonna work.
well, we won't know until we find out.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Willow's got like a feeling like something's gonna go wrong.
Time to give them a good talk to about hurting dinosaurs and stuff.
Odo, do you have any questions?
Is this unusual?
I mean,
Or
you think about it, Odo.
experience in the
Yeah, like you think about like you've been in the military your whole life. This is what they do. They set up essentially like a fortification, ditches, and it's set upon a strategic point, a river, right? Like an easy way to go in. You know the King of Dustport has ordered your order, which is this group of people, and your commander in here, to find a cause behind the death curse. Now, you know him as a pretty stern individual, though. You know, imagine like a lieutenant or a commander in the military, right? And you don't know, you know, he's a man of order, and you know, you look at Chef and you look at this kobold, you know, they're more or less, you know, people in Willow too. They're like these mythical creatures almost.
right.
So you need to think about, you know, I don't know what else to answer. If you have a question, I'll answer it for you.
So
Azaka is more like, Azaka is just a guide of the wilderness, guys. She's not gonna go into a place where a bunch of paladins that like basically groped her at the bar, right?
Oh, can we say we'll just go in, re-equip, get orders, and then return and meet you out?
Azaka says, you have 1 hour. And if I do not see you back here in 1 hour, I will leave. I'm sorry, Chef, but that is the way it must be. I don't know if they will capture you.
Well, if it's any consolation, Willow is feeling very uneasy about this situation.
Well, I sort of am too, but I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be, but
Azaka looks over at you, Odo, as you kind of look a little tepid, you know? She says, aren't they the ones that abandoned you?
good point.
You might have questions for your commander, Azaka says, but you did not seem like you were fond of this individual. But he did leave you behind. I'm sorry, Chef, but I will stay here.
Fine, but you have to get some type of punishment for being a coward. It's not harsh.
You may punish me when you come back. She says, before you go, she reaches down to your shoulder, Chef, and takes off a little mushroom. She says, hopefully this won't be the last time I eat it.
True love.
Okay.
That was weird.
The strangest interactions between two people that Willow have ever witnessed. Does not know how she feels about this. She's just staring at them like, what the fuck?
I mean, you kind of have mushrooms growing all over you. You okay?
I sort of get used to it after a while. I managed to just keep it around the neck and arm area.
Oh,
But bravery takes a while to earn.
We're all standing outside of the gates until someone says, or are we going inside, or what's the plan, guys?
well, I'm ready when you are.
Well, we have to wait for the human. Let's see. Monster, little pesky fairy, and human. Who would you?
Wait a minute. I ain't a monster. I'm Scratch.
Yeah, but in the eyes of humans, that's what we are.
I'm a music man. I'm not a monster.
Yes,
But
but
you gotta
I'm
see it
just
from the
being as
human
blunt
side.
as possible. Remember, people in the kitchen are very racist, so maybe they'll think racistly. So we need a human. He points to the paladin to help us out.
Well, okay, but you guys don't think I'm a monster, do you?
No.
No, it's just we need to think like the humans because in human world, you know, I'm just killing fodder, you're killing fodder, and you're just someone to capture for later.
Like the human.
I know it's not nice, but I'd rather be blunt than.
Or beating around the bush.
Hmm.
All right, Odo, I guess we're taking your lead on this one. What are you gonna do?
I'll walk towards the front gate. Is the front gate open?
Let's take a look at our map here. The front gate is... there is a gate to it. It's really cool. There are... I'm just kind of... We're doing this theater of the mind. Let me pull it up. The gatehouse is rigged by a 20-foot... or it's ringed... The whole camp is ringed by a 20-foot deep ditch lined with sharpened stakes backed by stout 12-foot high long palisade. Just kind of what we have on the map here. The depth of the ditch isn't apparent because it's perpetually filled with muddy water. The spikes, you know that, Odo, the spikes maybe aren't as dangerous to undead, which are pretty big, but to like large dinosaurs and things that could like charge into the camp, it could stop them for sure, right?
Right.
And that's what, like, and if you actually study like medieval warfare, like even like Roman warfare, there was a lot of ditch digging. Like that was the biggest thing back then, is like digging ditches. Like putting spikes in ditches, digging ditches. That's slowed down the enemy a lot, especially to a fortified location, which this has been made. You probably suspect, Odo, there's maybe like 50 people inside this camp. To actually build this camp, we need like a lot of people to build it, right? So it's got to be built by almost like a half, like platoon of men or so on, right? Or is quite a few soldiers, right? You approach the gate. As they notice your insignia, you have your thing, you have your companions with you. He goes, "Halt! Who goes there?" They look at Odo.
And I say, Odo, I have come from the, what was the other camp? Camp Righteous.
You have come from Camp Righteous? Odo? Is that you? Sir Odo? Remove your helmet.
Remove.
Take off your helmet. It is him. How the fuck are you alive?
Because of these friends of mine.
These friends? That monster? He points over to Scratch.
A monster!
Willow pats Scratch on the shoulder, going like, "It's okay. That's just how they see them. It's a human thing. Don't worry."
They have a fairy with them too.
Or would just be like, and Draconic be like, it happens. You get used to it. You get a little bit tougher. You know, it's a courage.
Scratch just kind of folds his arms, pouts a little bit, kicks at the ground, saying, "I'm not a monster. You're stupid."
Odo, what can we do for you?
I came to report all my unit is decimated.
Oh my god, no! The commander surely will want to hear your report. Come on in! So they let you in, right? You go into the camp, and how can I describe it? It is, you see a lot of tents. You see like hospital tents. So there's like an outer gate, and then there's like even more palisades and sticks and things like that. There's like another moat. And then of course you're into the camp where there's like a lot of braziers set up with wood burning. Smoke fills the air. And, you know, undead, let's take a look. Undead are like fill in the ditches, right? Zombies, ghouls, and other dead creatures. Other dead animals are thrown into the ditches and compiled. Flies are everywhere. Like, they're just buzzing around. It's not pretty sight. But there's other people of the order here. You see priests and acolytes. And there's probably about, I want to say, a half dozen other soldiers here. Then there's other tribesmen here that are Chaltians, right? To actually lead them through the jungle and so on. Willow, you get the sense that, like, you hear the coughing and wheezing of people, right?
Yeah.
There's sick people in the camp.
If you leave dead animals laying around, they're going to get diseases.
These people sick.
Odo, one of the guards come up to you and says, "How are you doing, old friend?" And he gives you tries to give you the salute, right? And he's like, "I didn't think you'd make it." This is just another guy who recognizes you, another Order of the Fist, one of the soldiers. "The watchtower, it's called out your name, and I could barely believe it." "How did you survive?"
With luck and friends.
"With these things?" He points over
Yes.
to Chef and your other friends, which are part monsters and mythical creatures.
Mm-hmm.
"How did this fairy help you? She can't even swing a sword."
You'd be surprised.
Certainly would be.
"This one just has a bagpipe."
And a big backpack.
I also have a pretty
Which
big backpack.
somehow has not exploded yet. Is this a secret weapon that you use
Yeah.
in the future? Of a fight?
Unleash the backpack.
Dora the Explorer gone to action.
I am not legally required to answer that question.
"Well, regardless, I'm happy that you're alive. There's quite a few of us that have fallen ill, and I did not want to say so in front of the commander, but he is used to war on the surface, but up here it is different. The undead are everywhere, and we're not built for this, you know?"
Mm-hmm.
I think a few of the men have already deserted. I don't know. Why are we doing this, Odo? The king is just afraid to die after all.
I mean, who isn't afraid to die? I think that's everybody's greatest fear, whether they acknowledge it or not.
Shh, keep your voice down. Well,
we probably-
Odo, if you wish to see the commander, might I suggest you
Yeah.
hit the latrine up first? He points to like the back. There's like some fucking latrines back there. And maybe get yourself
I'll
a
wait.
fresh meal, you know? Be careful. And the guard, he like walks off unless you want to ask him anything else or anybody else wants to ask this guy just in the camp. You hear the residual coughing and wheezing of other guys in the camp. What do you guys do?
Willow wants to see if there's anything she can do to help these sick people.
Yeah, Scratch is actually going to try to help her too. First, I guess we should find out where the sick are being held at. Like, if there's any sick hospital tents that are holding sick people.
Great question. Yeah, there's some field hospital tents. And you guys are kind of going by the tents. I'm just saying you guys are just kind of all moving together, right? Because the camp isn't that big. There are about 6 soldiers or people of the Order of the Gauntlet that are in these tents. And if anybody's proficient in medicine, they can make a roll. There's a few acolytes of the Order that serve Adon who are treating the sick as well.
I
rolled a 26.
Oh, damn. Never mind.
Natural 20.
I was going to say I have half proficiency in medicine, but I don't even think I can measure up to that one.
Well, it's all
I have
you.
a +6 in medicine.
I'm a +2.
I do have healing spells, but then I rolled a 2, so it doesn't really matter much.
I'm just going to roll it anyway, see what I can get. I got 12.
Willow, there's, like I said, there's about 6 people of the Order in here, Odo. You recognize some of them as other people that were able to escape the ghouls and the zombies that attacked the camp. They must have fled west, and unfortunately, the problems just, like, never stopped, right?
Mm-hmm.
They got sick they must have got sick here, as the jungles of Chult are just not that great. And the acolytes, you go up to one of the sisters there. I am Sister Sias, little one. She looks over to Willow as Willow's like asking the questions and stuff. She's dressed with the religious symbol of Adon, the goddess of spirits.
Okay.
These men are sick and we have run out of our magic. We can no longer help them. And the commander cannot push further into the jungles of Chult to find the answers to the death curse. Can you help us?
I will do what I can, but I can't promise to be that, or can't promise that it will be super helpful, but I'll do what I can to try to help.
Do you have help? How can you help? She looks down at Scratch.
Well, believe it or not, I'm actually pretty good at some of the magic stuff. And I've been known to cure a few sicknesses back in my day.
I am not. We are desperate. Any help you can give, little dragon, can be of great service.
Yes!
I just walk over to the nearest sick person.
Don't worry, Mr. Night Person. I'm gonna make you feel better. Watch this.
He says, he pulls out his bagpipes, and he just takes a big breath, and just lets out this small tooth. as he casts Lesser Restoration on him.
Nice. Mark the spell on your spell sheet from D&D Beyond, right? As you cast Lesser Restoration, how do you cure this man of whatever illness or disease he's afflicted with?
Yeah, so it says I touch a creature and can either cure one disease or one condition.
Yeah, describe it. Like, visually, the flavor text of it, you know?
So whenever he exhales into the bagpipe, the 3 prongs that come out the other end of it, the 3 other funnels, start to glow a little bit. And it's blue, yellow, and red light form at the tip of each of them, and they all just kind of swirl together as they exhale in a little gaseous. This gas just kind of settles down onto the soul. The gas dissipates.
Yeah. That's kind of what you sound like a little bit, buddy. Just your mic is cutting in and out a little bit. You got to be pretty close to it, I think.
All right, so short thing short. As he breathes into the bagpipe, some colorful gas comes out the other end, and it settles down onto the body of the soldier. And after a few seconds, the gas disappears, and he is better.
The color returns back to his face. Oh!
There you go. Oh, better.
He looks up into your face as he kind of like comes to consciousness. Don't be afraid. Sister Cyrus says, his magic cured you. You must. Do you have any other magic to help the others? There's 5 other sick people.
Is it just the one tent with all the sick people in it?
There's tents that have sick people in them, but there's like 2 in each tent, I would say.
Okay.
I'd help the other guy over there, but after that, I'd be pretty beat. I'd have to take a break. Like approximately 8 hours.
So Willow's going to ask the sister to lead her to another tent that has 2 other of the warriors and bring their beds close so that way she can cast Cure Wounds, which is a touch spell.
Sure.
So she can touch both of them and try to heal both of them at the same time.
You take like the 2 cots are pushed together of the 2 men afflicted with different diseases, sickness and throat leeches, nasty diseases of Chult. You take your little majestic hands.
Yeah. Their thumbs on each hand.
Their thumbs are put together with the last ounce of strength. These 2 soldiers of the Order of the Gauntlet put their thumbs out. They hold them out. You grasp them with your unnatural strength, and you recite a blessing to them. What do you say to heal them?
This is a cure wound, so I don't have to say anything. It's just by touch.
What are you thinking? How do you will it by, making them feel better?
Thinking about the intent of being healthy to be able to help their troop or squad or whatever they're called.
Yeah. You heal them. The magic flows out, sparkles fly and flow down from your tiny hands, which is about the size of a little longer than maybe 2 of their thumbs, the length of 2 thumbs. You reach down and it flows out and they feel better. Water. I'm so thirsty. And one of the other acolytes brings some water. And the sister says to you, you've healed 3 of them. But I am afraid that more will get sick over time the longer we are out here looking for the ancient ruins. Go speak with the commander if you wish. I will tell him, she points to one of the acolytes, go tell the commander of these good deeds from Odo and his friends. They are truly heroes. What do you want to say? What do you want to say? Yeah.
Well, I don't think we're heroes. I think that people who are sick and need healing need that help, and sometimes even healers such as yourself need help from time to time.
Yeah, it's true. We do not want to test the gods and stretch beyond our ability. For those that do, sometimes go mad.
I think you guys are the real heroes, taking care of the sick and the wounded.
We are all heroes. She looks over at Odo. We heard you're still alive, Odo, and we are glad.
We need to find what is causing this and put an end to it.
What do you guys want to do before... Here's a question. Do you guys want to see the commander, or are you guys trying to resupply somehow, or what do you guys want to do?
Chef's 4 would probably just probably try to sell the things that, like the gold, the fish that he has, trying to get better supplies, and pretty much sell the nonsensical stuff that we don't need at the moment, and try to get some more decent supplies.
You'll have to speak to the commander if you wish to sell. He is the one that holds all the soldiers' pay and gold.
And then he would also be like, give me 2 of your sick.
You want to try to heal some of the sick as well, Chef?
Yep.
How do you heal them?
So with
There's
the
3
2,
sick guys left.
So what Chef's 4 will do is that he'll rub both of his hands. They start magically glowing. Mushrooms coming out that have very good healing qualities. Slightly psychedelic because, healing mushrooms have some, fun. He will use 1 sorcery point to twin cast
Cool.
Cure Wounds on 2 of them.
Cool.
Healing both of them with pretty much mushrooms, and pretty much they may be a little dazed, but they're good.
Awesome. So the last 2 are healed. And the question back to Scratch is, does he want to heal the last one?
Yeah, he absolutely just waddles over to the last guy, takes in one more mighty breath, and then exhales those colorful fumes out of his bagpipe, and it's past lesser restoration one more time.
Odo, this is pretty incredible. These strangers that you kind of just met yesterday have healed, half of a regiment, half of a little squad of men, using magic that most commoners don't possess. You truly are, Odo, had the fate of the gods with you. Do we want to see the commander now? All the soldiers have been healed.
Right.
Let's go meet the commander.
The commander is in this giant tent back here. There's guards and everybody passed around. The rumors have already started to go around the camp that basically all the men have been healed by these miraculous travelers and strange creatures. Fairies, dragon folks, fuck it, even goblins. And Odo, of course, hasn't healed a damn person. He stands quiet and stoic.
He brought the healers.
Well, I can't heal disease, so.
Yes, you can. Using 5 charges of your touch of your thing, you can heal disease.
Oh, I can? I didn't
Yeah,
know.
just read over the ability, my man. I'll help you out. Yeah, or you could just use 1 healing point, right? Just by using 1 little healing point, by touching people. Now as a backbone, he's like a younger commander, but quite dashing, right? He has blonde hair. He wears full plate mail. He has a symbol of Adon in one of his hands that he wears around his neck if it's not around his neck. He carries it in his hand. He is a human who serves the king of Dustport, Odo. He's been tasked with coming to Chult to, just like all the rest of the adventurers here, to figure it out. Odo, by God, I never knew I'd see you again. And I've heard you've brought your friends. And they've healed everyone. Hello!
You're really loud.
I like that.
Well, I need you to pay attention when I speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like we're right in front of each other.
I can't
need to
hear
be,
you.
Like,
If I don't yell, sometimes they don't hear me when I give an order.
Right.
You would make great sous chef, you know. Just shut to make things. You'd be a great sous chef. This is such a kitchen voice.
What can I do for you, Odo?
My friends have healed some of my comrades. We would like to put an end to this undead business. And have you had any intelligence about what is causing this or what can be done?
Fuck if I know. They come out of the fucking woods. We had to travel west. There's less of them out here, thank God. But the men are constantly getting sick, and I can only thank you enough. Now I'll be able to send out an expedition up north. I've heard there's a statue up there that the kobolds worship, and maybe there's some secret to it.
Ooh, kobolds!
That's right, little kobold.
No,
Should we break
talk
the
to him.
Should we break the bad news to him?
What's the name?
They might be not good kobolds, and we might have to kill them, like my kind.
Right. I was thinking the same thing.
What?
it happens.
I'm not going to lie, little one. If you didn't heal anybody, or I would have you thrown in the stocks. But that's all water under the bridge now, since, you helped us. And I have to agree with this goblin, of all people, yes, I agree that not all of you are as bad as I thought.
A reptile could sweat bullets.
He's with like a couple other guards in here. He's not by himself. The other guy in here, I want to say one of the other guards is a dwarf. He has red hair and a mohawk and a tattoo that like zigzags across his top. His beard is brown, comes all the way up to his cheeks, and is braided like a handlebar mustache. Odo, you recognize him as Ord Firebeard. And the other guard in here is another lieutenant that he has. Her name is Pern Salhana.
Okay.
Willow
Oh.
timidly raises her hand because this commander dude is somehow managed to intimidate her severely.
Too much testosterone. Yeah.
Right? No, I think it was just the loudness threw her off.
Don't look him in the eyes.
You said a statue. What kind of statue? Do you know what it looks like?
Well, I don't know, but now we were running low on men. Our supplies are good. We're able to kill the dinosaurs and feed everyone, but these damn throat leeches and the sickness of the blue mist. It's the strangest thing. We were traveling west, Odo, and out of the forest, this mist of blue and eeriness came out. Some of us got sick, and we set up camp here to recover.
Blue mist.
Thanks to you, though.
Want to go west?
I'll set the expedition
We
out
wanna go
north.
Yeah.
What's up? Why are you going west, Odo?
Well, because it came from the west, the mist.
Yes, the mist is everywhere. This fucking damn cursed place. But all in the name of the king. For the king!
He just kind of whispers to the goblin next to him, "It's the king."
Permission to check out the statue. I can look it out with my friends, and we could report back.
I like statues.
Wait. First, I have to get rid of some of this worthless stuff first, because what happens if we get some cool stuff and we can't carry it back?
We do not know exactly where the statue is, but the rumor is it's north from here. There's goblins or kobolds or smaller creatures that worship it as some kind of god. And I'm sent here to investigate every fucking artifact to find the source that the diviners have determined to be the cause of this fucking curse.
Well, I will, like, again, timidly raises her hand. I'm an archaeologist, so maybe I can help with artifacts and stuff.
Incredible. The little one speaks.
Yeah, no shit.
Wow!
Yulsen speaks. Yeah.
He looks over at you. He says, "No shit, sir."
Nah, see, you're not my dad, so nice try.
That man scares me.
What else can... I hear you need to trade something. Is that true, Oda?
Yes. I have some things to
Yeah,
trade.
they have.
I have some gemstones, some silver coins. I have some fish.
Fish?
2-person man tent.
And I have a tent.
I have a tent.
Yeah.
We could use the extra tent.
Some good supplies too, so.
All right, cool. So I'm going to say this guy has about... I'm just going to use a nice easy number. He has 100 gold that he can kind of give out. He has more gold than that, but he has to use the money to pay the soldiers, right? Mm-hmm. So he can trade 100 gold pieces worth of supplies if you guys want to buy things from him or sell things from him. Otherwise, I mean, he just has like generalized stuff if you want to buy things from him or sell things to him. Like the gemstone chef is talking about. How much is the gemstone chef?
Okay, let me look up at our notes. That's like a long time.
It was a while ago. The 2-person tent is 2 gold. Do you want to sell that tent, Willow?
Yeah.
Okay, so move it from your sheet and he hands you 2 gold. How I pay you is I give you the cost of the item, right?
Okay.
Which is just listed in the player's handbook or on yourdnd.com.
Cool.
Cool. Does anybody else want to sell or buy anything?
I have like 2 gold pieces. I can see what he has to sell.
He has like the adventuring gear stuff. If you want to buy something from the adventuring gears list. Okay. You did create your character, but afterwards we'll give you guys some equipment and things like that. Or give you some spare gold, right? Because we just gave you the starting equipment. Mm-hmm. Chef, how much was the gem?
Trying to look. It is really high up there.
Was this the one in Firefinger that you found?
Yeah.
Okay, let me look it up. Where did you get it in Firefinger? Was that the very top?
Very top. We got all 4 of them.
Hold on here. Okay, there was 4 gemstones up there. Did you grab all 4 or just 2?
Yeah.
You grabbed all 4?
Yeah.
And did you grab some of the coin as well, right? I remember?
Yes, 50 copper pieces and 50 silver pieces.
And you got the scroll up there?
I'm keeping that scroll and keeping the rest.
The scroll of commune with nature?
Yes.
Okay.
What the fuck you scroll?
And then you also had Azaka's mask up there. You grabbed all 4 gems. Each gem is worth 50 gold. So you could sell 2 gems for 50.
Ooh.
Do you want 100 gold? Then sell 2 of the gems?
Sure.
Impressive. These will serve well for the king. He will surely enjoy the gems from this great island. He kind of says it facetiously as he thinks maybe this island is a shithole.
I do have a question for you.
Yes, I do have a question for you, sir.
I have a question for you, sir. I'm sorry. Manners are not my first ordeal.
Yes, little one.
I'm looking for some good gear.
Spit it out, Greenskin.
He looks. He points at his leather armor. He's like, "This is pretty. Let's just say worn. Do you have something a little bit more studded, a little bit more better quality?"
Unfortunately, no. He looks as he's wearing plate mail.
Love and life in the jungle in plate mail.
You think?
I can sharpen my sickle.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's a sharp. I'm gonna say there's basic stuff like that. He has a sharpening stone. Let me see. That's a There's a sharpening stone. I think it's probably like a silver piece. If you want to buy one. But the actual wheel grinder, which you're talking about, they don't have that.
Okay, I just want to sharpen my sickle because I don't know how sharp nor.
And part of the trade with Chef, he trades you a sharpening stone. Add it to your sheet, Willow.
Cool.
Is there anything else you guys want? He's obviously thoroughly impressed that you guys are able to heal most of the camp.
Yeah, Trash kind of raises his hand.
Yes.
Out of curiosity, do you have any grappling hooks?
Grappling hooks?
Yeah.
Why does a little lizard need a grappling hook?
Believe it or not, I'm not very good at climbing.
The dwarf laughs. He says, "That will be 2 gold." He looks over at Chef, at which he just handed 100 gold for the gems.
Sure.
And Trash just over his entire life savings for a grappling hook.
Here you go.
Thank you.
So, do you have the rope?
Poor.
Do you have the rope to use that as well, buddy?
I do not.
Okay, we can give you that.
I do, but
Yeah, they have rope. We just have to work on your character a little bit too. So we'll work on him a little bit too. We have some more time.
he needs more stuff for his backpack.
Yes, his backpack, which is exploding. He probably can't even fit the grappling hook inside the backpack for fear of puncturing it and just having it all explode essentially. So I'm assuming just attaches it to the backpack in a way.
Yeah, he just kind of takes a spot onto the backpack and just kind of uses one of the sharp edges of the hook and just kind of neatly just punctures it and just leaves it hanging there.
Wasn't there a guy like this in the Labyrinth movie with David Bowie? Had this giant fucking backpack. Do you guys remember that movie? Wasn't there some? This is kind of I remember that.
Yeah.
There's some guy with a giant fucking backpack in that movie. I remember. I'm gonna find the picture and link it for
somewhere in
you.
the bog.
Yeah.
No, it was the trash collector chick.
Yeah, something like that. That's hilarious.
Chef Spore will look at his items to see if there's anything that would pique his interest or help him out a little bit with the adventure that they're going to go on.
Mm-hmm.
Like checking out the weapons, seeing which ones he likes.
I mean, these guys are soldiers, but they have a lot of. They've been well supplied to a certain point, but as far as healing, magic, and they're totally out of healing potions and things like that. But they have other equipment here, they're well supplied with. We're talking about chains, chalk, climbers kits, blankets, bells, ball bearings, hammers, things like that, which could be used to do it. But Odo, you look around, and how long have you been in the Order of the Gauntlet?
So I'm 18, so
Pretty fresh, maybe a year. And you're kind of dawning to you that this guy left you all to die. plus like he has all this equipment, right? It's kind of like, I don't want to say it, but like the soldiers in Afghanistan, like Afghanistan is like this very hostile place, right? And they're like super well equipped, but it's like you're looking at like a mountain almost, or like a very inhospitable place, even like Vietnam, and that's what these guys have right now. They have a bunch of equipment, but like an impossible terrain, really, is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've been well equipped, but even with all the equipment that they have, you get the impression, Oda, that this is still too big of a task for them.
Right.
You're cutting out again, buddy.
Yeah,
You have to get kind of. You just cut in real bad. You actually got to get kind of close. I want to see your face like this, like that. Yeah.
I want to see your nose hairs.
I want to see fucking nose hairs.
So there's a difference between being well prepared and not being properly prepared, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Willow is a fucking shapeshifter. Like these guys aren't even shapeshifters. You know what I mean? Or skinwalkers. And you thought about like Azaka and like the land maybe. Like these guys are foreigners, like that have come to a place, like they're trying to try their same tactics to like a totally different environment. When everything looks like a nail and you have a hammer, they're just fucking hammering away basically.
Right.
So Chef, let me just clarify something with Chef real quick. Chef, you traded away 2 of the gemstones. You got 100 gold pieces. What else do you want, Chef?
Well,
Do you want anything else?
Yeah. What do we have like stuff that will like help out the party, like help make sure everyone like has the correct amount of rations. If not, he'll just go for them. He doesn't mind. He would then probably look for stuff that would be essential, like something to catch water, which I think we lost because of the death of the first character. Like a rain catcher.
Rain catcher? The rain catcher is like something that the Chaltons use. And surprisingly enough, Chef, there are a few other of the tribesmen here used as like local guides. They do have a rain catcher. I think the rain catcher is 1 gold piece, or is it 1 silver?
What is it? Tell me.
I don't know. Let me tell you. I gotta look it up. It's one of these custom items. Okay. It is 1 gold piece. It's a contraption that is a 5-foot square leather tarp with a wooden frame and legs. When the tarp is stretched across a wooden frame, it forms a basin that can catch 2 gallons of drinking water per inch of rainfall and can hold up to 8 gallons. Do you want to pay for it, Chef? 1 gold.
Yeah.
Okay, add it to your sheet. It's kind of heavy though. It's 5 pounds because it's like a large piece of leather with wooden pegs to it. Does anybody else want anything before we maybe rest in the camp before we head west or north, or where are we going? What are we doing?
No, I have no money, so.
Say you wanted me to add rope, or was that not included with the grappling?
Yeah, you can add your own rope, buddy. It's fine.
Okay.
You can determine if you want silk rope or regular hempen rope. Odo, you talk about having no money, and the commander says, "Here you go, 1 week's pay." He hands you 1 gold piece.
No.
That's a week's pay?
And you think about it, Odo, you get like even more disillusioned. Like you just fucking risked your life like out in the fucking jungle for a king, right? Right, to solve some death curse. You're like the last lone survivor, and they just gave you 1 gold coin.
Like giving you a participation trophy at the end of a soccer game, going, "Here you go, you did your best."
Jeff's would actually try to, seeing the disrespect, he would actually, like, speak up and be like, "That is not respectful. He literally was the last person alive. And you're like, here's 1 gold for all the trauma that he went through."
That's okay, the little one. That's okay.
Holy crap! Got like half of my entire life savings.
More to life than money.
He says, "This is the standard pay for all soldiers, Chef."
Soldier.
you just cutting out there.
I'm not a soldier. Because, as a chef, sometimes people tip you with gold, some people tip you with items, and now this makes me happy that I did not become a soldier.
Well, be fortunate. I thought the goblins always just force recruited you. You worked in tribes and clans and things. I've killed a few in my day.
As long as it's not me, I'm fine.
But any friend of the crown who heals our men is a friend of mine.
You scare me.
And that I should. I'm doing my job correctly then, he says.
Not a thought.
I'm assuming you guys rest here for the evening, correct?
Yeah.
Cool.
I am a nocturnal creature. I could go out, but
You look around, like the zombies and the undead, you hear moaning in the middle of the night as they're drawn to the torchlight of the camp, and they fall into the ditches. Some of the guards are like joking around as they like just take pot shots. It's kind of like that show, like The Walking Dead, where they're just shooting through the fences or whatever, right, kind of thing. And they're kind of just joking about it. Hey, aim for his fucking kneecaps, like something like that, or they're just having fun. Hey, I'll give you 1 copper if you hit the fucking head off this one, shit like that. And they're just kind of having fun. There's some drinking and stuff like that. Chef, I'm assuming, is sharing some of the stuff from the wine thing that he has with some of the troops or something, as he cooks up a nice little dish for the group. And it's morning. You guys all go through a full rest. The commander is like... the commander wants to send a group of soldiers out, but if Odo is going to take his group and go north instead, then he won't send them out, right? He'll send them somewhere else.
So let's.
So do you guys want to? So let me throw the options out as an idea. I'm just throwing them out, kind of out of character at you guys to give you guys the options of what you want to do. You guys can travel north and maybe look for this mysterious statue which the commander has spoken about. We can head west to Orenlunga, which is the name of this mysterious temple where the spirit creature is at, where Azaka said. And what else do you guys want to do? So, or you can go north to Port Naranzaru, or southwest, the way you guys came, to do something else entirely, I guess.
Should we check out the statue?
yeah.
Yeah.
Chef?
Sure.
Okay. Excellent, the commander says. Are you well supplied?
No?
Well, I wish that there were some type of good spices, but bigger can't do this.
I got my their underwear. I got some extra clothes. Got some rope. A backpack. Yeah, I'm all set. Let's go.
Kobold, I forgot your name again.
Scratch.
Scratch. Yes, okay. And then he'll say in Draconic in the most blunt way, this adventure's probably gonna break your little delicate heart, just to tell you. I'm just gonna say...
Impossible. Nothing can break my because my heart's too big. He just did a big old
Oh, you poor little precious child.
I'm 18.
All you see is this
Willow
chef
just like
with his foot-
sympathetically pats his head, just going, okay.
Chef Silver just puts his hand into his face, and he just mumbles in Goblin like, "This poor kid is just going. He's just gonna get destroyed in here."
I gotta step away for a quick second. I will be right back.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. Are we taking off north?
Yep.
Okay.
I feel like we're gonna go to the statue, then go to town, because that's probably the statue's near town, and then we can just be like, ho ho ho.
Chef, you go outside to find Azaka, right? And she said she was only going to stick around for an hour, right? You guys remember that?
Yeah.
She's gone. Azaka's gone.
Oh shit.
Poor Azaka. And then you think to yourself, Chef, she's probably just back at Port Naranzaro, right? She's not that. She's not probably that. She probably just followed the river north and went back to Port Naranzaro. Okay, so the place where they're talking about, or maybe where this thing is, a few days away. So we're going to travel north, and every day we travel away from the river. Let's take a look here at my map. So once we travel away from the river, which is kind of where we're going, we are 1, 2, 3, 4 days away from this place, okay? We're probably actually about 3.5 days, I'm going to say, because we're going to always fall out on the day, on the first roll. But we have to make survival rolls pass on days 3 and 4, okay? So I'm going to roll the first 3 days right now. Here we go. Day 1. I'm going to add a day to the timer. Day 2. Day 3. I'm going to roll once. I roll an 18, so a random encounter happens. Let's roll it up. Yay! Random encounters!
I love random encounters. They're fun.
Cool. All right, let me pull it up. Here we go. Chef, are you there?
Yeah.
Make a survival roll.
Me, of course.
So I think you're the only. And, our new buddy Scratch can also make a survival roll as well. Because if he has half proficiency, he can roll as well.
Yay!
Yeah, I'm going to give you guys a hint.
All right, roll. I got a 17.
Chef, you know that Snatch, you guys have been buddies now for a few days. You guys were walking on the trail north. What are you guys talking about?
All the explorer knows how to do is just talk about food when it's a safe topic, because with Chef Explorer, he knows he has to be a little bit more delicate, because he sees him as more of like a newer adventurer in his eyes.
What do you want to say, Snatch? Do you want to say anything to Chef?
Scratch just kind of...
Just put the mic a little closer to the face. There we go.
Scratch just talks about almost everything about his life, all within the span of an hour. So it's just constant talking. He does not stop. He just keeps talking about these over-exaggerated tales that couldn't possibly be true, or could they?
You guys are trying to make sure you're not getting lost, and in doing so, Scratch, you point out some tracks to Chef. And Chef, you look down and you see these tracks. They're like small feet, like about this tall. Brush is overdone, sticks and twigs have been removed. near the area. What do you think it could be?
What? Do they look goblin or do they look koboldish?
Yeah, you're right. They're goblins. And you look and you see the hints of these primitive goblin folk. And the tracks go east.
What should we do?
Well, if they're not hostile, we can just see what they're doing, and then we go back to the port because we need a guide. It's not wise to go in the jungles without a guide. But if they're hostile, then we have to fight them, which sucks for me because I'm a goblin, but I'm willing to take that risk.
What?
Maybe we won't have to fight them. Maybe we could just be friends. Who knows?
You're too innocent for your own good.
I don't know what that word means. There's too many syllables in it.
You know, maybe when we're in the port, I can bring you to the kitchen, and it will probably make you a little bit harder shelled.
Alrighty, I'm gonna roll up the last day. You guys come to it in the middle of the jungle. You guys see it. It is a statue. Standing next to some rocks and ferns, you follow the tracks of these goblins. Some of them travel east, and then some of them are traveling north to this place called Vorn. And next to the rocks and ferns is an 8-foot tall humanoid statue in shape with bronze fists, iron joints, and an adamantine breastplate. It has an iron helm with slits for eyes. The rest of the statue is made of sculpted wood reinforced with bands and rivets of adamantine. Scattered around its feet are offerings of food, feathers, colored stones, and skulls. So the statue is 8 feet tall, and it's made of extremely valuable metal, but it's overgrown with rocks and ferns and things of the jungle, as you guys have successfully tracked it here. What do you guys do?
Can I do a history check?
It would require an Arcana check.
Arcana check.
Because I have half proficiency.
Yes, you can always roll because you have half proficiency. As bards are extreme travelers of the land, hearing all kinds of tall tales and singing songs from all over. They're very knowledgeable in almost everything. You got to put your mic a little closer, buddy.
Yeah, I was just verbalizing what I'm doing. All right.
What'd you roll, Willow?
Oh, did not roll that yet. I had to find it.
There you go. You rolled a 20. Nice. The visual aid helps.
No, I rolled a 10.
What are you thinking about this statue? It has like a bunch of skulls and colored rocks onto it. Scratch. I'm thinking about the movie now with Brad Pitt. What are you thinking about this? This is kind of weird. It's a large statue. What do you think's happening here?
You said that it had like adamantine reinforcements, like it had like a plate, iron joints, that kind of thing. So, Scratch might take a wild guess here, but that kind of sounds like it's less of a statue and more of a construct. That's because they have joints. There's one solid piece of some kind of material, but this is multiple pieces of rare materials. This could be a golem. Who knows?
You've heard about dwarves diving deep into the earth to find precious metals like mithril, cold iron, and you've heard of elves digging or harvesting their precious oak, the dark oak of the Deepwood Vale. And adamantine is another precious material sought out by many kings and lords of the land who wish to forge the best armors and weapons that an army can have. It's heard that this is nigh indestructible. There's no rust really on it, right?
Right.
It's like a purplish stainless steel almost. It has dirt and grime on it.
Willow starts sketching it out in her little notebook that just magically appears and disappears.
Your assumptions are correct, though, as you kind of look at it a little bit more. You brush away some of the ferns on it, scratch, and that you find that, like, indeed, you're right. This is some type of shield guardian.
Oh.
It's deactivated. It's deactivated, though. Like, you think about it, and you rolled pretty high, right?
Yeah, natural 20.
Do you know how shield guardians work?
Yeah, there's some kind of like amulet or something that is with the person that created it, and as long as you have that, you have control of it, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you're totally right.
So, knowing this and figuring that out, Scratch starts looking around the area for some kind of amulet or ring or rod or something that looks like it could be. So, it starts looking around.
You call over to Chef, and you guys start looking at the tracks around. You try finding, maybe this amulet for this thing. This thing must be worth a fortune. It's not a god of some kind, but maybe these goblins are worshiping it as some type of god or deity. They're putting like these crazy little offerings around, skulls of animals, rabbits, strange stones, and they've tried to like cover it up so nobody else can find it. Make one more survival roll. And
Right.
Chef can roll as well.
Yay! $20!
Nice.
A dirty 20.
You find more tracks of like goblins, grungs, and veggie pygmies. And you see that they must be trimming back the vines here and the creepers that would otherwise swallow this construct a long time ago, right?
Right.
They leave these offerings at the feet, and you see the tracks. Their tribe is not close to this, right? The tracks are faded. They must be about 3 days old, right? But they've been here recently. And they come from the east. And Chef, you remember Azaka saying that there was tribes of goblins to the north, and like there's the tribes of the grungs to the south. Remember the grungs that attacked you from a couple games ago? And there must be a tribe of grungs just north of where Camp Righteous was. What do you guys want to do?
Scratch
I
wants
have to
find,
get.
What?
I was just saying, Scratch wants to find that amulet.
I have to get going.
I'm sorry that we didn't find an amulet.
There's you like search around the area, you like find the tracks that head east, but you don't find the amulet.
Right. So I would say that the best bet for us, if we do want to find the amulet for this thing, is to follow the tracks, because maybe they found the amulet when they found the shield guardian, and they decided to take it as some kind of holy relic or some kind of what's it called, holy symbol. Maybe it's some kind of maybe it's the god. Maybe that's what. Find whoever might be the goblin priest or something. We can find the amulet.
What do you guys want to do? Do you guys want to head east to this place where maybe these Goblin Tribe is? Chef, you know that encountering a Goblin Tribe can be tricky business. I mean, you are a goblin yourself, but you're like kind of like, what is that? You're kind of like an Underdark goblin, right? That's good. And these are like tribal goblins, right? They don't understand. They might not understand you really that well. It could be very dangerous. And from the amount of tracks that you guys have spotted here, we're talking about dozens of goblins.
I hate sounding like a coward, but we need a Zaka. If we're gonna do anything stupid. There's too many of them.
I second that notion.
Oh, if I think that's the smart decision to do. I'm a new guy, so what you said goes.
You don't live as long as I do without learning a couple tips and tricks.
What are you, something?
He just points to his mushrooms and just be like,
You have a longer life expectancy when you have a force friend.
I have to get running.
You got to go, Odo?
Yeah.
Okay. You got to take off early?
Yeah. You guys can go without me, or wrap it up, or whatever you want to do.
Do you guys want to finish up next? We'll pick it up from next week from here. Is that what you guys want to do?
sure.
I'm cool with whatever.
Let's
I
pick it
don't
up.
want to leave. So,
We don't want to leave one soldier behind.
no, sir.
We'll leave it here next week, and hopefully Rune and Lyra will be able to help you guys up, and you guys can decide if you guys want to head southwest or in Lunga, or if you guys want to head east and fight these goblins, or recover the amulet in some other way. Willow, you think about it. Maybe you could shapeshift into some small creature and sneak in and get this thing if it's there too. Maybe another stealthy way, right? You could transform into a little scorpion or something like that. It could be tricky. I mean, you tested fate once back at Firefinger, but it could be done.